Welcome, and thank you for joining our session today, Increasing Online Food Orders. Before we get started, we would like to share some housekeeping items for today's session. All audience members are in listen-only mode, which means you are muted. We will be monitoring audience engagement in the dashboard and do encourage you to participate by using the question pane. There will be time for questions at the end of the discussion. Please note this webinar is being recorded and will be available online in the coming week. Now, without further delay, let me introduce today's speaker, David Mitroff, Ph.D. and founder and chief consultant of Piedmont Avenue Consulting. Thank you again for being with us today, and please take it away.
Thank you so much for having me. So again, yeah, you can put in the questions or in the chat anything about your business or any specific comments or questions you have, and I'll try to incorporate those as I go. As also at the end, you can put them in as well. So restaurants and food businesses have definitely been affected by various things, including COVID. But with or without COVID, you always have to continue to figure out ways to expand and grow your business. And when it comes to restaurants in particular, online food orders, with or without a virus, are continuing to grow. More and more people and businesses want food delivered. And so there are certain ways that you need to optimize your online food orders and systems and your websites and how everything works so that you get more business. So today I'm going to walk through how to sign up for and leverage online platforms such as Ordermark, Doordash, Chowly, Grubhub, and many more, and why you want to use different ones and what the advantages and disadvantages of each ones are. I'm going to review effective methods such as streamlining your menu, your online catering, and other things so that the percentages that companies take or the amount of work on your kitchen, other things are not as important as you would think. And then how to effectively promote online ordering through social media and other platforms, and how to create content and stay engaged with your customers so that they order more and more and that they know that what services that you offer. And also, all of these activities are designed to lead to more customers actually coming to your business, not just for online. Okay, so this slide here says I'm famous. The main things you want to know are I've spoken at the Western Conference Food Show for 5 years. And I've spoken at all kinds of other conferences around the world, whether it's about restaurants, hospitality, or other topics. I have my own consulting firm, Piedmont Avenue Consulting, where anyone on this call or anyone in the world can schedule a free call with me, and I'll do a free initial assessment and give you feedback on your business. I teach at the University of California, Berkeley. I'm a Google mentor for Google Startup Accelerator, and I do a whole bunch of other things. I've written books and yada, yada. Okay. So this slide here is a slide that I've incorporated into every single talk that I give since the beginning of this year. And this is about how to grow your business right now. Because with or without the virus, there's always something going on, but sometimes people get distracted. So I want to talk about 4 main things you can do to grow your business, just in general. Then I will move into the online food orders, increasing those. So a big thing is when there's this much stuff going on, like an asteroid heading towards Earth or whatever, there's so many things going on. Write down a list of the 10 things that you can control and focus on those. You can also write down a list of 10 things you cannot control, because it makes you feel better that you wrote down what you cannot control, and put that to the side. But focus on the 10 things you can control, number 1. Number 2, be consistent. With or without a virus, or with or without anything going on, whether you got a lot going on or nothing going on, the number 1 way to grow your business is by having strategic meetings, whether in person or not right now, over Zoom or Skype, with your top 20 strategic partners. So what you do is you list out who are the other business owners, people in your community, hotel owners that are near you that want to partner with restaurants, wedding people, whoever it is. Partner with people and have lunch meetings before the virus. Now do virtual meetings, 3 lunch meetings or 3 virtual meetings a month where you check in with people. Hey, this is what I'm up to. What are you up to? Building relationships with the top 20 people that companies or concierge companies or companies that order a lot of food from your business, or neighbors or chambers of commerce, or if there's a whole bunch of auto dealerships near your restaurant, go over there and meet them and say, hey, and give them some free stuff. They'll start referring all those people that are coming to test drive a car to come, because people will say, oh, where should I eat? Oh, you go eat here, or when stuff like that. So 3 strategic meetings a month, consistent. It doesn't matter if there's a virus or not. If you're inconsistent, the chart on the right happens. You're less selective. You can't charge as much for catering or for other things. You're more desperate. If you consistently engage with people that can help you grow your business, with your community, being strategic with your top 20 referral sources or top 20 customers or top 20 people, even right now, you have customers that used to come to your restaurant, spend so much money, they're not anymore. If you have an email newsletter, email them. If you have their number, call them and text them and say, hey, I just want to check in with you. How are you? It makes a big difference, really big difference. Top of mind is a monthly newsletter. You can, and I will talk about this more, but email newsletters like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Vertical Response, Robly, using an email newsletter where it sends out, hey, we're still open. This is what we're doing. Here's a new menu item. This is what we do. This is how we're doing curbside pickup, whatever it is. A newsletter that goes out keeps people thinking about you, stays top of mind. When it comes to email newsletters before the virus, once a month, a couple times, it's fine. Now you can literally send one once a week and people are okay with that. You're not going to lose people because people are opting out by saying it once a week, because people want to know what's going on. The last thing you can do right now to grow your restaurant, to grow your business, is the event effect. I wrote a book called The Event Effect, and it's hosting events. Now, you can do virtual events, virtual tasting events, virtual tours, here's our new menu. You can do videos with the chef. You can do different things, and you can host events, not in person, obviously, but virtual. And by inviting people to events, whether they come or not, we're going to do a tasting. We're going to talk about this. Do one a month and invite people. And by inviting people to events, it doesn't matter if people show up or not. You're inviting. You're not selling. You're inviting. And by inviting people to come learn about tequila, come learn about this or learn about that, it promotes your business and your restaurant, and it's something different. It's a way to bring those customers back that used to come in and you used to engage with. Maybe your manager wants to host a monthly happy hour, a virtual happy hour, where your manager gets to talk to guests that you used to hang out with, and it keeps that process going. That's part of why they went there. If you want people to come back after the virus, you have to stay engaged. Again, focus on the 10 things you can control. Be consistent in reaching out to strategic partners, people that refer you a lot of business. Send out that monthly newsletter. It doesn't necessarily matter, don't take me out of context, but it doesn't matter what's in the email newsletter. What matters is that it goes out. The from line and the subject line. The from, your restaurant, the subject line, you are invited to a virtual event, or we're excited about curbside pickup, or we have a new menu item, or we're doing this. The monthly newsletter, doesn't matter if they read or not. What matters is you send it out. By sending it out, they see that you're still in business. They see you're still engaged. And then the last one is inviting people to events. Again, whether they come or not, that's not what it's about. It's staying top of mind. All right. So when it comes to online ordering is the #1 way to make an impact, especially with the virus. But it's also, if you're starting a new restaurant, out of the gate, this is one of the biggest ways to pay for your staff, pay for your food, to pay your rent, is by doing online ordering. Online ordering can easily bring in another 10 to 20% if you just set it up correctly. I have clients that started out, they were making 70% online, and then it gets down to around, depends on the business, around 30%. So if you do it correct, you can make a lot of money from it. The #1 way that you can make more money from online ordering is by being on every single platform in your area. Now, there are reasons to not do that. The #1 reason not to do that is you have a partnership with Doordash or Caviar or somebody like that, and the partnership the partnership is leads you. The partnership, because you have a strategic partnership with Doordash, for example, they will send you clients, and they'll send you more business than other people. So that's one reason not to. But in general, most everyone that I'm talking to, and everybody, all my clients today, need to be on every single platform. And it depends on what city you're in and everything like that. The average that I've seen is around 7 platforms per area. If you're in a bigger city, there could be more. Okay. By being on those platforms, by the way, you don't need to pay money or pay fees. Just be on them. And if someone orders, then you pay. If no one orders, you don't pay. All right. Customers primarily use apps to order. There are so many different apps to choose from. They don't necessarily use one or this one or that one. So if you just pick one app, you're going to be out of it. So you got to be on as many as possible. The examples, of course, Caviar, Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub. There's Eat Streets. There's Doordash. There's so many. Okay. And they all keep acquiring each other too. So it starts getting a small and small world, but but even though they acquire each other, they still have different names and different apps and different users. Now, when it comes to using so many different things and different platforms, it comes down to simplifying your process. So how can you simplify it and make it easier on the customer and make it easier on yourself? Well, that's where there's several different options. So one is, well, what is the point of sale system that you use? Revel, Square, Aloha. What are you using for point of sale? Clover. So based upon the point of sale system, then it's going to really figure out how easy or hard it is for you to make it for the customers. Now, some point of sale systems have it where it automatically can create online ordering for your website. And when they order directly from Clover, for example, Clover's point of sale, blah, 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 put that in. Hold on one second. Hey, sorry, 1 second. Okay, well, sorry. So what happens is the point of sale system can increase revenue. Sorry. Okay, so then we'll go to the next. So what happens is based on the point of sale system, then you have to decide if you want to have a million different tablets. Let's say you set up Doordash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Postmates, all those different systems. What happens is you can use a system like Chowly, and Chowly will take all the tablets, put them into one thing, and it funnels them in. And what happens is it funnels them in to your point of sale. So if you're using Square, Revel, Clover, Chowly has tons of them. What it does, it pulls all the tablets, bam, it goes right into your point of sale. So you don't need all the tablets anymore. It makes it much easier. It's there's different fees, but basically it's $99 a month. It's month to month for $99. If you have 2 platforms, it's less. If you have more platforms, a little bit more, but it's around $100 a month, okay? And for $100 a month, you don't have input error, you don't have this, you don't have that. All the tablets are going right into your point of sale, okay? So like Church's Chicken, I worked with them before, and they use Chowly, and they integrate directly in. I spoke at the restaurant conference, restaurant executive summit, and Mark is from Church's. He introduced me, and they're a great company. Okay, so the other one is called Ordermark, and what Ordermark does is it allows you to do the exact same thing that Chowly does. It takes all the systems, integrates them in. The difference is that Ordermark integrates into your point of sale. It integrates into a tablet, okay? And so what happens is by integrating on a tablet, give me 1 second. Someone's trying to deliver something. So what happens is, so Ordermark has its own tablet. And by Ordermark having its own tablet, what it does is all the systems go there, and it's much easier and better. And Ordermark, though, the advantage of Ordermark is that it has its own printer, its own system, so it's separate from your point of sale. So what happens is all the online orders are not related. All the online orders they're all in one system. If somebody calls a restaurant, somebody walks in, somebody orders over the phone, it goes into your regular point of sale. With Ordermark, it's all online orders just in Ordermark. Ordermark also allows you to have as many different restaurants as you want, and we'll get into ghost kitchens in a second. But basically what happens is Ordermark, what it does is it integrates with your, what it does is it allows you to have, sorry, my brain is, okay. So what it does is Ordermark allows you to point, basically you print the tickets into the kitchen, and you can add up to 8 different restaurants on an Ordermark platform. What happens by doing that is you can have ghost kitchens, and ghost kitchens means, let's say you're doing sushi, you can also add poke. And so now you have sushi and you have poke bowls, okay? And you can actually have 2 restaurants on Doordash, 2 restaurants on Postmates, 2 restaurants on Uber Eats, 2 restaurants, everything, but you use one Ordermark system, and the one Ordermark system will print to the kitchen different tickets. It's pretty amazing, and we'll go into that a little bit. All right. So menu importance. It's very important to have simple menu, fewer items, higher price items, and include catering. So when it comes to online ordering, the menu is by far one of the most important things. And the menu is the number one thing that people do screw up. What people do on their menu is they put their whole menu. Do not do that. Maybe put 15 to 20 items at the most, especially when starting out, maybe only 15 items, number one. Number two, you can't just, we have a taco, put one taco. No, you got to bundle it, 3 tacos, and you have to have sides, and you got to you have to do higher prices. And again, you can't say, oh, our regular menu is $5 for a taco, and then but on DoorDash is $10 for a taco. That doesn't work. You have to bundle it together. So for example, let me see. You want it to be simple. This here, an egg, avocado mash, Jane's, whatever. That's too much. It's too much. It's not a good price point. So what you got to do is you have to do this. You have to do stuff like this, where street taco platter 3, vegetarian share plates. It has a whole bunch of stuff. And then you have to have better pricing and sold in bundles and packages. Okay. By bundling it, you can justify the cost, and it makes it much easier. You also want to include catering and I'll show some examples. By having catering on your Caviar, DoorDash, etc. menu, down below you can say family platters, catering, large groups, stuff like that. People will order it, and by having it family of 4, stuff like that, you'll be surprised. You put $150, people order it. But don't put a whole bunch, just put a few. So like for a Japanese restaurant in San Francisco, we have this on their DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, $134 for a sushi roll and nigiri platter. Or we have the combo platter, $69, or sashimi platter, $105. People order it. People just go, oh, you know what? It's easy. It's been done for me. Okay. You want high resolution photos. So photos are critical. What you do is go look at other DoorDash is the best place to start. DoorDash is the first platform I would recommend that anybody sets up first. It's by far the most popular platform, and it's also very easy for other companies to pull from it. So what I mean by that is, if you set up your DoorDash and your DoorDash menu and the way the descriptions, the pricing, everything about it's good, you just tell everybody else will just pull from DoorDash and put it into their system. And it's very easy for them. It's easy for you. So you want really good photos. DoorDash will come out and take free photos, but you want to also take your own too. Or if they do come out, when they take photos, they'll lay it all out. They're taking photos of the food. You take your own photos. Now you have them for yourself as well. When it comes to the photos, what you want is you want to look again on DoorDash, look at other restaurants in your industry so you get a better idea of what it looks like. Here's some examples. These are great photos. Makes you want to eat this stuff. You can also have influencers. We use influencers come out and take photos. We put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter, put it on all these things, and it leads to more interactions, and it leads to more online ordering. But photos are really, really, really important, and so are the descriptions. Okay, so this just talks about when you post on social media, you can use hashtags. You can reuse the platforms across every platform. So if you're going to take the time to cook a whole bunch of food and and make a lot of photos, you might as well repurpose them and show them and use different systems to put them out on social media. So what we do is, for our clients, we repost all over the place. The different images. Oh, it's Taco Tuesday. It's or oh, hey, we have a new sushi roll, a burrito, sushi burrito, whatever, all kinds of stuff. So you want to stay engaged. This is where it starts really important because you create the online platforms, but you need to figure out ways to stay engaged, because people are not going to order more than once if you don't find out ways. I mean, obviously good food, good product, but you got to find ways to stay engaged and remind them, because there's a lot going on in this world right now. So I highly recommend responding to reviews on social media and sites like Yelp and thanking them. And if there's bad stuff, don't take it personal, make adjustments and say, hey, we're always improving. We can always do better. Okay, so ghost kitchens. What is a ghost kitchen and how can it benefit your business? So ghost kitchen is a professional food preparation and cooking facility that's set up to deliver only for delivery. Restaurants that use ghost kitchens may have different physical locations for walk-in customers or not. In certain markets, ghost kitchens can be on the 3rd floor. It doesn't matter where it is because customers are not coming there. Now with the virus, there's lots of commissaries and lots of kitchens and lots of restaurants that are underutilized. So it's a perfect time to partner with a restaurant and say, let's share kitchens or share space or do whatever. And you can try out different things. It's a pop-up restaurant, but pop-ups have customers. You don't have customers. It's just the customers that come in and out of pop-up. This is just purely to go. Doordash in particular has actually been renting facilities in areas and then putting in their kitchen, helping restaurants that are very popular in other parts of the area, putting in their commercial, putting in kitchens there so they can deliver to new areas. Okay, so expand your business. So again, you can expand to a new territory. You're in one city, you want to go to the next city down, get a space, share a kitchen, and start testing it out. And now you're delivering to a bigger audience. You're delivering to farther away. It simplifies delivery. It separates sit-in restaurants and active delivery service, so that you're not competing with customers in line that are looking at you by making a whole bunch of orders that are to go. The other place is making them to go. And it leaves room to focus on other aspects of your business. All right, so tips for growing your business fast. When it comes to all the stuff we talked about, the main thing that people want to do when it comes to online ordering is that they're either starting out a new restaurant, new project, or they're wanting to expand into new areas, or with the virus, it's got to be a new revenue stream to make the business work. Then it comes down to content marketing. It really does. Companies need to get into content marketing as fast as possible. Content marketing, it's Google. When I Google certain keywords, key phrases, I look on Yelp or I look on other platforms, do I show up? And at the end of the day, your website is the hub to this entire strategy. If you're on Doordash, if you're on Grubhub, if you're on Postmates, if you're on all these platforms, that's great. But at the end of the day, they're still going to look at your website. You don't have a website? Well, then you don't have a business. You need to have a website. By having your own website, you're controlling your messaging, you're controlling your branding. Especially with COVID, you're able to have a section on your own website where you clearly state that you're safe, that things are in order, etc. So search engine optimization is the idea of keywords and key phrases. It helps drive traffic to your website. So there's things like Indian restaurant, New Jersey, or whatever. People Google that, best Chinese food, Washington, D.C. So on your website, if you say we believe that our Chinese food is some of the best Chinese food in Washington, D.C. If you put that on your website, someone Googles best Chinese food, Washington, D.C., it'll actually show up. So that's search engine optimization. There's keywords and key phrases, and do searches, do Google searches, see how you show up, how you don't show up, see what works, what doesn't work, and then may add content to your website, to your Google, to your Yelp. Your Yelp listing, your Google listing, and your website, by adding good keywords and phrases to it, you will show up. So emphasize your location. If I look at your website or even your Doordash listing or any of these listings, do you say what city you're in over and over? Do you say what neighborhoods are near you? Do you say what schools or colleges or businesses or whatever are near you? Do you just, if only in your address sections is the name of your city? You need to say we are a, Los Angeles-based French, blah, 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 whatever it is, Los Angeles French restaurant that specializes in this. Be brief, but use more content and materials. When you write posts or add pictures of the new menu items or new food, think about what keywords or phrases people are going to search. And then make sure that on the about description on Yelp, Google, Facebook, everywhere, that you have the right keywords and phrases that describe exactly what you are. Indian restaurant, Mexican restaurant, whatever. Okay. So what content do you want to write about? You want to invite people to a tasting event, even if it's virtual. You want to let people know that the chef wrote a book, or there's recipe guides, or if you're doing meal kits, hey, here's a list of how to do meal kits. That you're doing raising money for charities, or that you want them to help you so you can stay open and support your employees. Write about things that you know that they don't. Write about ingredients, write about seasonality, write about new menu items. Keep it interesting, keep it relevant. Your content doesn't have to be original, but it's got to keep people's attention. And that's where photos and the right keywords come in. So again, focus on themes such as happy hours, curbside pickups, tacos. Come up with weekly or monthly themes. So with all our restaurants, we come up with monthly themes based upon our numbers. Like for example, you know what? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're getting tons of customers dining outside because right now. But guess what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're not getting as much. So let's focus on our happy hour specials, or let's focus on this or that. Or guess what? Our online orders have been going up. Great, but let's also focus on getting those people to do curbside pickup, which from us, like have special packages that only can be done through curbside pickup. And then again, pictures and videos, and pictures make a big difference. If there's a video of you saying, hey, I'm really excited about this new dish I made, here it is, blah, 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 you will get way more orders. All right, so calls to action. You have to have very clear calls to action on your website and in general, social media and everywhere. So if you do not tell people to order, make a reservation, email sign up, or call, or make it really easy and clear what for people are supposed to do, they will not do it. They don't know what to do if you don't tell them what to do. You have to make it as easy as possible for people to know what to do. Number one. Number two, you have to make it very clear that you're open, and very clear if you are open, how you're open. Oh, we're doing outdoor seating, we're doing curbside pickup, we're doing da, da, da. You have to make it really clear. There's great website platforms that you can use for free or low cost. Wix.com, Squarespace, WordPress, all three you can do free, or you can pay $5, $10, $15 a month and for more or less features. But there's no reason that every single restaurant or business doesn't have at least a one-page website that says who they are, what's going on, their picture, their contact information. Very simple. Okay, automation. So at a certain point, you're like, well, David, we have to do this. Yeah, well, let's automate it. So that's where you can set up an email newsletter to go out once a month. You can do it in advance. You don't need to obsess about what's in it again. It just needs to go out. Okay. Here's some email templates. You make them in Constant Contact, Robly, MailChimp. There's some slides, and you'll get a copy of this presentation. There's slides with those. You can also plan out your social media posts for the month. Obviously, do not say, oh, it's a beautiful day because it's going to rain. But what you do is come up with a theme. You know what? This month, the seasonal ingredient is X. This month, we want to highlight our cocktail program. This month, we want to highlight that. And so you just map those things out, whether it's for online ordering or whether it's for outside dining or curbside pickup, whatever it is, you highlight certain dishes, certain things. And you would, if it's online ordering, you'd say stuff like, hey, don't forget we're on Doordash. Don't forget we're on Postmates. Don't forget this. Hey, we have our catering package on this. Put pictures, describe it. So using platforms, this is Hootsuite. There's Hootsuite, Later, Buffer. I have a slide on all of them. Hootsuite, Later, Buffer. They automate everything. And what they do is they auto post to all the platforms. So you can literally do a month in advance, and it's not as hard as it looks when you come up with themes. And I have a 12-month calendar, marketing calendar, I'm going to go over in a minute. So Robly, Buffer, Later, Hootsuite, Buffer, Later, Hootsuite, those three platforms can automate. And again, they're like free or $10 or low cost. They can automate auto posting to all the social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Robly, Constant Contact, MailChimp, they do the email marketing. Okay. This is where, somewhere in here, this is where people go, but David, I don't have a lot of time. I'm very busy. Okay, so there's a couple of things here related to mindset. One is busy versus full. So busy is the idea that you got so much going on, you're reacting to things and you're responding to things, and the phone rings and the email, and you're just running around in circles. Full means that you have time to think and you're more proactive. So how can you move your business, your life from busy to full? And block out times to think, block out times to be proactive, block out times to experiment with new things. Now there's good and bad about the virus. Obviously the virus is very bad, but the virus has also given us time to sit down and reflect on new things that we have probably wanted to try, but we never had the time to try, or new things that we've been thinking about, but we didn't do. So there's good and bad to the virus, but the virus has led people to be way more proactive in their business. So instead of being as reactive and running around circles, let's try to map out time to be proactive and move from busy to full. The other one is working in the business versus on the business. In the business it's very easy to just start cooking, start working on just doing in the business tasks. Versus on the business is actually doing some of the stuff I talked about at the very beginning, hosting virtual event, sending out the email newsletter, connecting with your top strategic partners, top community partners that refer you business, working on your search engine optimization on your website, adding your business to more online ordering platforms, streamlining the online ordering process so it goes through a Chowly or Ordermark. Doing those things are growing the business. So ask yourself today, did I do anything to grow my business? Did I do anything to work on my business? Or am I been just responding to emails all day and doing in the business stuff? So think about how you can go from busy to full, go from in the business to working on the business. And this is a mindset shift. And when you start doing this, you will see more success. Okay. So outsourcing. Now, at this point, you're like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I need some help. So there are sites, Fiverr.com and Upwork. Fiverr and Upwork are great platforms where you can hire someone to do a lot of the stuff for you. So you don't need to do all this stuff for you. There's companies like mine that can do a lot of stuff for you too, but in general, sometimes you just need simple things done, and it's more efficient to have people on these platforms do it. So some of the stuff, graphic design, content writing, translation, video, music, social media, illustrations, all kinds of stuff. They can do it for you, $5, $10, $20, $100. But if you don't have to do it, or if you have to do a little bit, they do most of it, or they do most of it, and at the end you clean it up, it saves you a lot of time for you to focus on other aspects of your business. So it's really about understanding how to leverage the current team you have, as well as some of these platforms such as Fiverr and Upwork, to get things done and get things moving. So yeah, there's Upwork, Fiverr, and then there's sites, Pixabay and Unsplash that have tons of photos that you can use for free. And then Canva.com, C-A-N-V-A, Canva.com is what we use, what all our clients use. It's free. And there's a paid version. It doesn't do that much more in my experience, but you don't need to pay basically. So the Canva, most of the things I'm talking about today do not cost that much money, but they make a big impact on your business. And sometimes we're paying a little bit, but in Canva's case, Canva for free is amazing. What it does, it allows you to design flyers, posters, all the social media posting stuff for Facebook, for Instagram, all the little designs that you need. It allows you to design all of them, and it's awesome. Okay. So the 12-month marketing calendar. This brings it all together, and the 12-month marketing calendar is a concept that I implement with all my clients, and it works really, really well. Which is what you do is, whether there's a virus or not, you map out all the national holidays. So Festivus, Ramadan, Hanukkah, whatever. You map out all the national holidays, Thanksgiving and whatever. So you map them all out, and you have all the national holidays on the calendar, number one. Number two, you map out all the local events or local things going on. Obviously, with the virus, there's not going to be a wine walk or this thing or that thing. But in general, every year there's certain activities that happen in your community. Restaurant week, there's cocktail week. There's these different events that happen. Then you map out like industry related. What conferences are happening? What events are happening related to your industry? What's the seasonality of your industry? So when there's no virus, we all know that gyms are the most popular in January, February. We all know that restaurants in January and February are really bad months. But we know that October, November, December are traditionally good months because we have big holiday parties. It's colder out. People are staying home. They want food. So we know that real estate during the summer, houses sell more. So there's certain trends related to your industry and certain types of food, seasonality about food. So you map out the industry related stuff. And you have industry, location, national, and just kind of more local. What's the local atmosphere, what's going on? And by mapping out those things, you start to see themes, and you start to see what's seasonal trends. With or without a virus, you start seeing, here's the things that we want to focus on month to month, week to week. And this right here sets the strategy for your online menus. This here sets the strategy for your email marketing, sets the strategy for virtual events if you want to do those. It sets your strategy for social media posts. It sets the strategy for everything by doing it this way. So I did not cover to do remote events. You can use Eventbrite for free. If it's a free event, it's free on Eventbrite. You just put it on Eventbrite. People are going to go to Google. They're going to Google different things that will show up. You can put an email newsletter and invite people. And by doing that, people will come to your event, virtual tasting, virtual happy hour, meet our chef, have your questions answered about how to cook this or do that. Whatever it is, it keeps people engaged and it's interesting. People need things to do. People are bored right now. And by staying top of mind and inviting them to something cool, like we're going to talk about how we make our ice cream or how we do whatever, it's going to lead to more business and better community relations. I wrote a book called The Event Effect. I've written several books, wrote one on growing your online presence, wrote one called The Event Effect. If you email me, I'm more than happy to send you PDFs of a couple of my books, no problem. The Event Effect literally talks you through how to do an event, whether it's remote or in person. So regardless of what event you do or the talk I'm doing right now, the goal is that attendees walk away with knowledge, but they also find a new way to connect. And so I encourage all of you to connect with me via email or find me on LinkedIn or go to my website and schedule a free phone consultation with me. I'm more than happy to talk to everybody on the call. At the same time, I encourage you to find ways to network with each other, whether it's exchanging LinkedIn and stuff like that throughout this conference. So in summary, sign up for and leverage as many platforms as you can. Ordermark, Doordash, Chowly, Grubhub, etc. And figure out which platforms are right for you, which systems are right for you based on your point of sale. Review effective methods such as streamlining your menu, simplifying your menu, offering bigger orders, offering catering, offering bundling things together. Look at how you can effectively promote your online ordering through social media, Instagram, Doordash, Postmates, etc. And then look at tips for growing your business now. How can you grow your business right now? Focus on things you can control, etc. Okay. So again, here's some more books I wrote, and here's all my contact information. I really appreciate the time today, and if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those. And I look forward to talking to anyone that wants to talk to me and give them some free advice related to their specific business. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David. It does look like we had one question come in towards the end. It was, can you please describe a successful restaurant week pre-COVID?
So pre-COVID, yeah. So basically, it depends what city you're in, depends what platforms you're on. But I have clients that are making, they could be making, depends, but they could be making $3,000 a week from online ordering, and that's not unheard of. I have restaurants where, they start. I have restaurants where 1% of their revenue is online ordering. It's like, really? Yeah. It's like, okay, well then that's not. It needs to be at least 15, 10, 15%, not 1%. So if it's that low for you, then it's really comes down to the menu, and the menu design comes down to the pricing, comes down to which platforms you're on. It comes down to having good pictures, good descriptions, things like that. We've implemented Ordermark, we've implemented Chowly, and by implementing Ordermark and Chowly, we've definitely seen sales increase for lots of reasons. Both those systems allow you to be on pretty much every single tablet in your area, which makes it you reach more people. Both those systems allow, Ordermark allows you to have ghost kitchens, ghost concepts. We've seen a lot of success with that, where you have all your employees, they're all making sushi. Let's add a poke bowl, and we come up with a brand new concept with like only maybe seven items, and we start pushing out poke bowls, and it works, And if it doesn't, then we change to something else. So with or without the virus, online ordering can make a good impact on your business. The other thing is, in the online ordering, there's certain, include a card that says, oh, we invite you to come in, or we invite this, or whatever. If there's no virus, yeah, we include things like, hey, this is good to come in, dine in, tell us that you're coming, make a reservation, things like that. So you're not just using it, you're using online ordering as a way of creating more brand awareness. people on all those platforms, they might not come in or they might not order online sometimes, but they're seeing your business, they're seeing your name, and they're seeing photos of your food, and it's reminding them that you exist, and that makes a difference.
And then as a follow-up question to that, somebody had asked what a restaurant week event pre-COVID, like how would you execute a restaurant week in your city and tips for the event?
Oh, got it. Okay, so like a restaurant. Okay, so a restaurant. Yeah. So certain cities, like where I live in Oakland and San Francisco, we have an annual. There's a certain. It's usually we just had the cocktail week too. We have certain weeks where it's a restaurant week, and the way that works is typically the local visit your city. Visit Oakland or the Chamber of Commerce or a certain business district will get together and coordinate a visit restaurant week or a visit cocktail week or what, or a restaurant week, cocktail week, and then they all the restaurants together promote on their social media. The city promotes it. It can get really exciting. And the way those work is every restaurant that participates offers some kind of thing where it's approachable. So I don't know, a good example would be, $35 for this particular dinner, and it's or $40 for this particular dinner. So sometimes a lot of times you have high-end restaurants and you have not so not, it doesn't matter what level of restaurant you are, but they're making their products available, and so people can go out for like a 2-week period and try out all kinds of stuff. And pre-COVID, it would be all these restaurants. Here's a list of all of them. They all have prefix menus that are around this price, or they all have. And here's some examples. And you can go try this, try this, try that. And they all promote it, and it's really, really fun. And it's a great way for people to go try out a whole bunch of places that might have been on their list, but they were either intimidated by the price or intimidated by the menu or just whatever. So it's a great opportunity to really drive people out. And it's good to do those during the slower times of the year. So so find times of the year where it's typically slower, and that's when you want to do those. Now, post-COVID, we still have. Last week we had a whole bunch of cocktail week programs, and basically you get to go to try all these cocktails, all these different places to go, and they sous vide them or different things like that. And again, it's really about having a much lower price point, so it makes it approachable. It makes it where people can try stuff. It's almost like, give people a sample of what your restaurant does.
Awesome. Doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in. And as a reminder too, to all the attendees listening in, you can reach out to David with his email address here or his phone number if you do have any follow-up questions for this webinar. The recording will be made available live in the next week or so, but I just want to say thank you, David, so much for talking today and sharing your expertise. And thank you again to everybody listening in on joining us live at your table today. And I hope everybody has a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.
You too. Thanks.